Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back for another podcast. And last episode of my podcast, I actually told you guys that what I wanted to do was do sort of a maybe like a daily podcast. So this is going to be my first try, just doing like a real short, quick podcast of stuff, topics that I found to talk about. Also, I heard you said you wanted to hear some, or you wanted to see some gameplay footage while I did my podcast. So what I've done is I found a replay that someone had sent me, and this is like a 2K plus game. I'm not even going to commentate on the game. I'm just going to let you guys watch it while I talk about stuff that's upcoming for today. So let's jump into that real quick, and there we go. So the first thing I want to talk about, obviously we have the Ziggs Patch coming up. They did delay it. It didn't come out today like I was hoping, so no actual gameplay of Ziggs today. But what I do have for you is the patch notes. They did just release those patch notes, and apparently the patch will be out tonight, so that's going to be really good. A couple of the things that are worth mentioning in the patch is that let's take a look here. Well, one of the big ones is the new Rise of the Bot Army thing that they're doing. So they've got it set up now so that they've added a lot of new bots to Summoner's Rift, and they've updated some of the ways the bots will interact and gank other lanes and things like that. So apparently they're a lot smarter now, or that's what they claim anyway. So it should be more of a challenge to those of you out there that are actually playing that bot mode or whatever. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm not really interested in it personally, but I know a lot of newer players to the scene and people that just want to mess around, like try new champions and play with some of the newer friends like that game mode. So maybe you guys will be interested in that, and possibly you can leave me a comment and let me know, like, after you try it out, if that's something that, if they actually improved it or not, because I'm not really going to test it out personally. So I'll leave that up to you guys to help me out on that. They also did a couple of other tweaks to various things. I'll just go ahead and mention the ones that I thought were more meaningful, like the bigger changes in my opinion. And so first off, obviously releasing Ziggs. He sounds like an AP mid champion. I'm guessing that's what he's going to be. I thought he was going to be like a support or something. I mean, I guess you could technically play him like that. But in any case, he's probably going to be an AP mid just based on the way he sounds. I'm curious if he's got ranged attacks. I think he'll have ranged attacks, but we'll have to wait and see. They did a couple of small tweaks to Ashe. I guess they're trying to buff her up a little bit. We don't see her play too much currently, so they gave her some more HP, a little bit more armor. They also did a tweak to where now her ultimate, as she shoots her ultimate, will give her vision across the path of where it's shooting. And then they did the same thing to Ezreal, so now Ezreal will get vision of whenever his ultimate shoots out. So that's pretty cool. The other big one that they did this patch, in my opinion, is Jax. So the previous patch, they released Jax, and I've done my impressions on him. You guys, if you haven't seen the video, basically it wasn't the most favorable review. I said that he does a whole lot of damage, and he has a lot of potential, but in his current form just was not strong at all. And I think they've actually addressed quite a bit of the things that I was concerned about in my review. So let me go ahead and give you my thoughts on what that's going to be. His Counter-Strike, they've redone that in a way that now it's 2 seconds rather than 1.5, and in addition to getting full dodge for 2 seconds, you get 25% damage reduction to all area effect abilities, which is a pretty big deal because Jax is going to be jumping into fights where a lot of casters and champions are going to be using their AoE abilities. So that's going to be a very big damage reduction for him. The other thing is that you can actually activate the stun prematurely after 1 second. So that's going to reduce the inconsistency of his dodge, which I was saying before is actually pretty damn difficult to get off properly, especially if you just jump in on somebody and you have to wait for that dodge to go off. They can just barely run out of range, as it's a really small range, but now you can jump in and instantly activate that stun, and it's going to be much stronger for Jax to use that. So I'm probably going to go ahead and try him out and give him like a small updated impressions. I don't know if that's gonna be like a full video or whatever, like I usually do, like a full edited one, but I'll probably at least like play a game on him and maybe throw that up and let you guys take a look at that, or maybe find someone who's got a replay of him, and we'll see how that works out. I imagine he's gonna be pretty decent in the top lane as well. I did a lot of stuff in the jungle, so I might have to do I might have to check him out in the jungle as well, see how that works out. Okay. The other thing is that they gave Sivir some pretty significant nerfs. They reduced her skilling on her boomerang by 0.1, And they also reduced the damage of the boomerang for each level by 10, and that's actually a huge hit because it's actually reducing it by 20. So usually when you throw the boomerang, it hits once and then it comes back, hits again. So that's going to reduce it by quite a lot, and I think that that'll tone her down quite a bit. Now, not only that, they reduced her move speed considerably from her passive, as well as the duration and how long that move speed bonus lasts, which, if you're not aware, when she auto-attacks another champion, she gets a move speed bonus for 15 seconds. It's now been moved to 10. So I think that's actually a considerable nerf. It doesn't sound that big, but those little small changes can actually add up. And I think the big part of what has made Sivir strong in the past has always been a boomerang blade, and they just have always had a really hard time balancing that out correctly, I guess. So you keep seeing them buff it and nerf it and buff it and nerf it and buff it and nerf it, and it's just real frustrating. So hopefully they've got it right here, and we won't see any more Sivir nerfs or buffs for a long time. I think she'll still be a good champion. It's just that she won't be able to completely destroy people as much any longer. So that's my thoughts on the current patch. The other, well, actually, sorry, there's one more thing they are doing. They are adding some new items to the game. So I thought I would go ahead and talk about those items and what I thought, etc. So let me take a look at the new items here. And I read this last night, and it sounds like a pretty good change. What they're doing is basically taking Starks Forever, which before would give you a pretty considerable attack speed boost and lifesteal, as well as some life regen, and it was an aura for your team. And the thing is that usually champions that build these aura items are not the ones that are going to benefit from that as much. So what they've done is they've made these items make more sense for the people that are actually going to be building them. So the Starks Forever no longer requires you to build a recurve bow any longer. All you have to do now is well, I don't know. I'm not sure what the actual item build is for it. Let me see if I can find it. Basically what it does now, though, is it gives you 250 health instead of the 40% attack speed bonus. You're going to have 250 health, and then you get 15% cooldown reduction. Oh yeah, that's right. It builds from the prereq item that's... Damn it, I just have a loss of words there for a second. Okay, so the same thing that we'd use to build in the Cerelia's Reverie. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it, but gives you the cooldown reduction and the health, and then you'll get the aura, which gives you lifesteal and attack speed for your allies. So it's going to still benefit your attack carry for the aura portion, but it's going to make more sense for the person who builds it, which is either your support or your tank, who's going to actually start up by building those options there. The other thing is that they've added, since you no longer use the Emblem of Valor to build into the Starks Forever, they've actually changed it around a little bit as well. And instead of giving you lifesteal and health regen, which usually you don't need lifesteal on tanks and supports because lifesteal is more for bursty people. The lifesteal is now for, the lifesteal is taken off and they gave it armor instead, and then it still gives the aura of 10 health regen per 5 seconds. So it makes more sense. And then that one will actually build into a new item that they've introduced, which is the Locket of Iron Solari, and that gives you health, armor, and health regen. And then it also has a new active that we haven't seen before, which allows you to push it and it'll shield yourself and all your allies for like 50 plus 10 per level, so not too bad. It's gonna block a decent amount of damage in an AoE. So if someone throws down like a Gangplank ultimate, you can pop that and reduce a decent amount of the damage that's going to be incoming from it and that sort of thing. So it's going to be a good item for supports and for tanks to pick up. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be something we see everyone picking up or not. I'm going to have to play around with it myself and look at the cost. I'm not personally sure of the cost, but I'm very interested in seeing how that kind of turns out as we get going. So anyways, that's pretty much it for the patch until we actually get a chance to experience it for now. Oh yeah, sorry, I just read chat there. Kindle Gem, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. That always happens to me, especially when I'm casting games. I'll just like forget something. I know the name of it, but then I forget it because I'm trying to think of it. So I don't know if you guys ever had that problem. So anyways, I found this really cool League of Legends song, and actually I think they sent this to me, and I looked at it and I thought it was pretty good. So I figured that I would share it with you dudes. And so let me just pause the replay for a second and pull this up onto the stream for you. and we'll see if I can get this up. Here we go, and I'll just jump into the middle of it, I think. Alright, just a sec.
Okay.
Let me pause my music.
Sure.
I'll just jump in the middle of it, and I'll give you guys the link here.
I'm the LOL champion, killing off the paladins, caking in the bush till I caught you camping in. Crowd controlling, I ain't talking about the audience. I'm murking all the minions and the champs that they're following. LOL champion, securing the win. They say they gonna argue if I do it again. I'm coming in with a nuke, my kill is never a fluke. Pick a kill on these dudes, just call it a move. Hello, we're attacking it, and Garen is the catalyst, and cast it in, be smashing it with pulses, and we outta here. Headed right back to the summoner's rip. Rock steady, sunfire, merc trace, equip. Since let the gas loose and I.
So anyways, that's all I'll let you listen to for now. If you guys want to check out the whole song, I'll link it to you in chat, and then obviously if you're watching on YouTube, then I'll have it down in the description below. Pretty cool song though, and I like the way all the typography is added in. Really cool video effects. You don't see that very often. I'm sure that took a lot of work to do as well. So just wanted to shout that out. Another video that I want to shout out is one of my friends. I'm sure you guys all know of him, and if you don't, then this will be good for you, because you don't know what you've been missing out on. And that would be Dunkey. He has a new video up, and I don't know why. I just thought I would show this because it's the first time I've seen him do like a song. And so I thought it was really interesting because all of his other videos are a little different, but he does a lot of weird stuff. So let me show you like a little clip from this.
Drift down on YouTube again. Zintel. Full time. YouTube. Let's go. Dead guy. Again. Gotcha. Listen. Worst champ. Don't nerf. New. Fuck you. Asshole.
Okay, so anyways, I thought that was funny. He actually, in case you don't know him, he plays a lot of Lee Sin. That's why I said, "Where's champ? Don't nerf." He doesn't want Riot to nerf him. But anyways, funny video. I'll link that to you as well. If you guys don't know who he is, definitely check out his videos. They're real funny. He does a lot of funny League of Legends stuff. I also found this really good resource. So sometimes I wonder, like, well, what's the status of a certain champion? Like, are they going to be updating a champion or doing the remake? A lot of times Riot will announce like they're gonna remake a champion or something like that. But let me go back to the game real quick. But yeah, so they'll announce that they're gonna remake a champion or something, and then you don't hear about it for a long time. So one of the big ones is like the Eve and the Twitch nerf. Like, what is the status on that? Why haven't we heard anything on that? That was like a long time ago, and it's taken a really long time. So I found this good resource that this guy's been keeping up to date with, and it lets you guys know basically what the status is of every live champion. And I'm going to go ahead and link this in chat as well right now, so you guys can pull that up and just kind of browse through that and probably add it to your bookmarks bar. If you're the type of person that even cares about that sort of thing, I think that's a really good resource. You can just Control F on your browser and type in the champion that you're curious about, and it'll go down to that post, and it's in like chronological order. It shows like links to posts and like red posts that Riot has talked about that champion or whatever. So a really good resource, and I think you guys will like that. And the only other thing I have to talk about today is I wanted to show off an interview with MLG Sundance about evolving esports. So it's not necessarily related to League of Legends specifically, but since League of Legends is a big part of where esports is going, like League of Legends has been probably the biggest esports game now, or has turned into it. That and StarCraft 2. I thought it was a good article, and I guess just some talking points from it if you don't feel like reading the whole thing. It talks about him, or he talks about keeping MLG profitable, by trying to balance out the what you give the players for doing well, and what kind of funding you do for the events and that sort of thing, along with like what you charge people to watch the HD streams and that sort of thing. Also talking about how the growth is for esports, which I actually have something to say about that. Like, it's really crazy to think about if you look back on the last year, how much like streaming and YouTube videos has grown for gaming, and how much bigger it's going to get. I can imagine that in the next 2 years, it's just going to explode even more drastically. So it's just a really exciting time for any of you out there who loves watching esports, who likes watching videos about video games. You're going to start seeing like TV die off a lot more, and a lot of that advertising money come to TV. So you're going to see higher quality content because since people are more able to produce, to hire people to help them produce higher quality content, you're going to see that more often nowadays. And so I think it's just, we live in a like really exciting time right now. But anyways, that was just a little aside for me there. Let's see what else from that video or from that article. Oh yeah, he talks about do you think one day we'll see channel like ESPN covering pro gaming, kind of like they do for the MMA, and he talks about how he doesn't necessarily think that's going to be a big thing because people don't go to ESPN to watch things like well right now, like you wouldn't go to ESPN for MMO, or not for MMO but MMA, if you like to watch MMA, which personally that's like the only sport I like watching. I never really got into football and baseball and basketball and all that stuff. I always liked watching MMA. That was if I can watch fighting, that was what I was into. In fact, before I got into watching League of Legends stuff or playing League of Legends, I watched a lot of Street Fighter streams as that was starting to grow back in 2009. I used to love watching all the fighting games on esports channels. That was like one of my favorite things to watch. I thought it was really cool. So, anyways, it's a longer article. You guys can check that out. And I thought it was worth taking a look at. So that's really all I have for today. Pretty quick little podcast. Actually, I don't even know how long I've been talking for. But if you guys enjoy me doing this little daily thing and you want to see more, definitely let me know. Let me know in either the Twitch TV comments, or if you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the YouTube comments what you think. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and I'll see you for the next one. As always, my Twitch show is 3 p.m. Pacific time, Tuesday through Saturday, and you can check out my channel, Twitch TV/ColbyCheeZe. I've got a full schedule of what I do each day and that sort of thing, so hopefully you guys will join in and start watching that. I need to let all you guys know about that stuff, so peace out.